facts.
Do you think you can be racist towards white people?
Yeah, of course.
I do. Mooch?
Yeah.
Yeah. People, do you know people argue you can't
You
be
should
racist?
meet my dad.
And welcome to another episode of the Three Speech Podcast. I'm the mad lad of Jihad, and to my left, I'm joined by Mr. Controlled Opposition, formerly Mr. Hate Speech, but he's changed his names, he's changed his pronouns. He's now known as Mr. Saturday Night, the whole pay-per-view, Mr. Leo Curse.
Mr. Saturday/night.
Saturday Showdown, baby.
Yeah, zip zap, get boosted. Actually, funnily enough, you know, like the government had this like big push to get everybody vaccinated.
We haven't finished introducing people.
Yeah, no, but like, but you know the whole thing of, like, they pushed the COVID vaccine, and I don't think that'll get us deranked now. It's not.
Yeah, it will.
2021, but because of that, like, the uptake of like measles vaccines and things like that has gone down.
All right, well, we can get into that.
I'm sorry, it's not as interesting.
No, it is interesting. It is interesting. We will get into that because I
Gonna
make
do
some.
Williams joke though.
Yeah, no, I'm actually interested in that in the MMR vaccine. Well, you've heard the voice from afar, from behind the camera, making a triumphant return. It's the Narilla Gorilla. Muchinho's back, ladies and gentlemen.
That was me.
A little bit old. Nico unfortunately can't join us today, which is a surprise, I must say. He's usually always here and punctually on time, but he's actually currently in Istanbul.
Istanbul, that's an interesting place to choose for a holiday.
Yes, it's very interesting.
What did they do? Last time I went to Istanbul, I came back with a full head of hair.
Yeah,
is Nico going to come back looking like Calvin Robinson?
Is he gonna come back with an afro, cornrows, or the Cat Williams look?
I don't think he's coming back. He's just gone. He's gonna have. He's emigrated.
Cat Williams looks like a combination, like a cross between you and Nico.
It looks like a cross between all three of us. What are you talking about? Listen, a lot's been going on. Sean Strickland, UFC fighter, has been out there not pulling punches, talking about woke people to woke interviewers. Owen Jones suddenly found out that he does like free speech.
Yeah, now that they started targeting him.
Yeah, now
shadow banned.
Yeah, it used to be a conspiracy theory, not anymore.
Yeah, it used to be something that it was a conspiracy theory or it was real and you deserved it.
That's right. So we're going to talk about that. Vivek Ramasaki, he's out and about.
He's the inventor of Japanese motorbike.
And then what else did we want to talk about? We had a few other topics.
DEI.
Oh, yeah, DEI, crazy story.
So diversity, equity, and inclusion. There was a funny
Nico
story.
missing is really affecting our DEI score.
No, it's still because you're ethnically Lebanese.
Yeah.
Originally. I'm ethnically Scottish.
And you've got Indian family.
And I've got Indian family.
Maybe you're related to Vivek Ramasaki.
And I'm genderqueer and non-binary.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're
I'm Iranian, baby. Allahu Akbar. Actually,
I met the Director General of the British Iranian Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, what was his name?
Thor.
You serious?
Yeah. This is the British Iranian Chamber of Commerce. Thor Anderson, Director General.
He's a very nice guy. I thought you might know your dad.
Classic Iranian name.
Is he Iranian?
No, this guy looks legit. Why would he know my dad? if he was a houthi, he might know my dad. And talking about the houthi.
Who?
Houthi. There's the hot houthi as well that we need to get into.
Yeah. Houthi Chalamet.
Tim Houthi. So that's what we're going to be chatting about today. So Sean Strickland, did you see him?
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of him.
You told me you watched a documentary about him.
Not a documentary. I watched the Theo Von podcast, and he got quite emotional. It was very endearing because he showed his vulnerability and he cried like a little girl.
But he cried?
Yeah.
Why did he cry?
What a bitch.
His dad was abusing him.
How?
Just beating the fuck out of him.
Listen,
so it made a strong man.
Yeah.
No, look, I think, can I just make a point? We need to differentiate the term of abuse, because when you hear my dad was abusing him, people are like, his dad was butt fucking him. But if his dad was just hitting him, that's not even that's good parenting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's good parenting, but it
was in the 80s though.
Yeah. Well, it depends how hard. Obviously, it could be abuse if you're like.
I think that generally you have to be doing something wrong to deserve a hit.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was.
Oh.
And he was an alcoholic and he just beat up his mum.
The kid was.
No, not Sean.
What, Sean would beat
Sean basically
6 years old and he's getting drunk and beating up his mum. No wonder he was getting hit.
No, and yeah, he's had a bit of a mad life.
And Theo Von had a didn't have the best start in life either.
No, yeah, he kind of from the arse end of nowhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite endearing, sort of, to see someone, so hard, sort of like opening up about their emotions and all that sort of stuff. And
all right, Mouch, you 33-year-old woman.
Like, but
go watch the Notebook, Mouch.
Watch the Notebook. Why don't you cry? This bit always gets me.
Go get married to Sean Strickland, Mouch.
Yeah.
It was also
you can have flowers at your wedding.
He was a bit of a
flowers.
He was a bit of a
flower. Why don't you wear a big dress? What else? Tell us more.
Yeah, tell us.
Stupid lame shit about Sean Strickland.
At me.
We're not going.
I'm not going to open up emotionally anymore on it.
Good.
He was a skinhead. He was kind of in the wrong.
So what was he an actual
proper racist?
Really?
Yeah, he was a proper racist.
What still?
I don't think so.
Right.
And he kind of just was going in with the wrong crowds, and I think his mum got him into MMA or something like that, and. Then he realised he had a skill for hitting people,
right,
and put it to good use, and is now middleweight champion of the world.
And he gave a press conference.
Yeah, has he always been so-called unwoke?
Yeah,
and it's only recently, the last kind of year or so, I've noticed him pop up more and more.
Yeah,
but in the press conference, I don't know if we could show it if we have it.
Might get a copyright strike.
Yeah,
but I don't think that matters.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Like when everybody's like, oh my god, he's saying such terrible things. And if you look at what he's actually saying, it's actually pretty progressive. He's saying he's got no problem with whatever people do in their bedrooms, whatever they do in their private life. Get married, whatever you want to do, that's fine. And that's actually like a lot more progressive than would have been considered just the standard opinion like 20 years ago. But he says where he draws the line is when they're pushing that stuff on kids, and I think that's an obvious. There's nothing bigoted about that. It's just obviously don't try and indoctrinate kids. Don't push like the cult of transgenderism and all that sort of stuff on kids. It's for grown-ups.
I hope kids don't watch our podcast.
Yeah, don't push this podcast on kids.
Have you seen our new logo?
Yeah.
Get vaxxed. What did he say in that interview? So in the interview, the guy was like, "You've been talking about you've been not nice to the gay community or something."
Some lame,
just trying to get
journalist stood up. Some low testosterone guy. Don't know why these guys write about UFC, and he stood up and he's like, "Oh, so you've said some things about blah 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 blah." Yeah,
he tried. You know what he did? He tried to sucker him into
apologizing
to look weak, and he's like, nah, I'm doubling down.
Yeah.
Go fuck you, you're the weak man, you voted in Trudeau, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
And then everyone online was like, yeah, this is a few autistic people and a couple more MMA fighters going to turn this ship around. But that's actually what it needed, is like brands just to like, when they're pushed, like, if you think what you're saying is right, and it is right, and what you said is what, it's like, listen, do what you want, but keep it to yourselves.
Yeah.
Then the thing is, every other famous people and brands, anytime they've been confronted with that, like, oh no, I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm gonna learn. But he's like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And he's.
Well, I think also like his job is getting hit in the head. So do you know what I mean? We've seen what's the name? Tyson Fury as well has said some wild shit before.
Yeah.
And just because you can't really cancel a sportsman because people want to see that fight.
Well, yeah, this I had a bit about this. So you got all these like gender studies students being like, oh my god, it's so awful what Tyson Fury has said. Oh my god, he's got so wrong about it. And it's like, yeah, because you studied you're doing a PhD in gender studies. Obviously, you're going to have the best opinions because that's what you focus on. Tyson Fury practices every day, just focuses on getting really good at punching people in the face, and he's way better at punching people in the face than they are
at their
opinions. So why is nobody criticising the gender studies students for being shit at punching people in the face? Why is it only going one way?
Valid point.
I'm criticising them. They're shit at fighting, mostly.
I don't know. I've never fought one.
You never get like some guy like Sean Strickland who's like tough coming out with like lame gender studies bullshit.
Is your point though, Mouch, that because they've been punched in the face, they're not thinking straight, or you're just like, what?
Well, it's kind of echoing sort of Leo's thing here. It's like, listen, they're paid to sort of do mixed martial art and fighting. They're not paid to be a role model and have like opinions on geopolitics and sort of cultural ins and outs or whatever is the whatever we're discussing today, whether it's trans and what children should be. It's just like you should be talking to him about what's going on at the fight and what.
And if he fucked the other guy's wife,
yeah. But it's like asking sort of Alex Ferguson, going, okay, cool. What do you think about the trade war we're having with no one? He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm here to talk football, not whatever is your agenda here.
Yeah.
So why are we doing this?
But it wasn't that. It's that they want him to bend the knee and bow to their agenda.
I understand. I don't understand why the question is being asked in the first place.
And there's this assumption behind the question that what you said was bad, when in fact what he said is what most people think. And actually what's bad is this agenda that the liberal establishment, all these gimpy journalists are trying to push on people. Like, this is obviously wrong to think that, sending drag queens into schools to expose their fucking scrotums to children.
Lady scrotums.
Where do you stand on that now, Mouch? Now you've got...
Where do I stand on people exposing their scrotums?
No, on drag queen story hour and shit.
Now you've got some skin in the game, so to speak.
I have no problem with someone reading a fucking story to...
What if they're a nonce?
I would prefer if they're not a nonce, yeah.
I think they definitely shouldn't be a nonce.
Yeah.
How do we spot nonces?
I don't know.
Well, they look like nonces.
Yeah, they do. That's good.
That's how you spot nonsense.
That's how you spot nonsense.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should be having a full drag show with kids where it's kind of sexualized.
Man, who wants to fucking... Why do you want to talk to kids?
Yeah.
If anyone who wants to be around kids, they shouldn't be allowed to be around kids. That's how I...
Great. It's like being a politician. If you want to have that power, you shouldn't be allowed to have that power.
You shouldn't be around kids.
It should be like jury service.
It's like I vaguely like my kids, but I don't want to fucking go around, looking after other people, especially kids I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to do that?
And it's sort of been said in memes and stuff, but how come they just want to read stories to kids? They don't want to go... There's like old folks' homes where,
who actually are transphobic.
Maybe they've got a notebook type thing going on where, like, if you get to the end of the drag queen story hour, they can, like, their dementia falls away and they have 5 minutes as a, and then you can cry, Mouch.
Have you seen The Notebook?
Yeah. Obviously, I've seen The Notebook.
I haven't seen The Notebook.
I watch it every Valentine's Day.
Have you seen The Notebook, Mouch?
Yeah.
Is it good?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it's bad.
Do you want a gash bomb?
Is it Ryan?
Yes!
Is it Ryan Gosling?
I don't know, mate.
Mouch has a gash bomb.
Who's in the Notebook? Who's the guy in the Notebook? Is it?
I
Ryan
don't know.
Gosling?
I just know women go like that's like someone told me use the Notebook as a joke It's here. I've taken it off.
Oh.
Is it Ryan Gosling? It is. It's Ryan Gosling.
Maybe it's
I'm some kind of genius.
Maybe it's your favorite film.
It's my favorite film.
Maybe your favorite film is The Notebook.
It's not very good, even in terms of like the schmaltzy films. It's not a good.
But why do women love
film.
it then?
Oh man, I got to tell you, like Western women are going to destroy the entire civilized world, and this, like in The Notebook, is just one part of it.
What about liking a hootie pirate?
Exactly, like in the.
Come on, that guy's pretty hot.
Did you see
Who's the hootie pirate?
You not seen it? Bring up the hootie pirate, man. It's a hot hootie pirate, and he's being sexualized. And he's like, listen, I want to just be a terrorist.
Yeah, he's all like, I don't appreciate these comparisons with the star of Willy Wonka.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm a terrorist. I want to commit a suicide bombing.
I want martyrdom. I want to destroy the West. And like Western women are just like, oh my God, he wants to destroy the West. Oh, why don't you destroy my vagina first?
Commit an intifada against this jihad on these tits.
Commit an intifada in my pants. And like women are like, why are there no nice men? And it's like, because you go after literal terrorists. There are nice men, but you don't fancy them because they don't want to behead you.
Yeah. Listen, he's a bad boy.
He's a bad boy.
He's a hot hootie bad boy.
There he is.
Come on now, look at that. He looks a little bit like Andre the Freitas.
I was going to say you, but...
Does he look like me? He doesn't look like me.
Nah. Yeah, he does look a bit like Andre the Freitas. I mean, if you had your hair forward like that and were 20 years younger.
That's very
25.
That's a very mean thing to say.
Yeah, he's good looking terrorist.
Good looking terrorist.
Is he a terrorist? Whose side are we on?
Is he a terrorist?
Ways.
Is he a terrorist? Man, this is the thing. People are so dumb about this. Like, I saw Guz Khan
Gash bomb,
tweet
baby.
this like basic bitch like reaction to the bombing
sorry.
in Yemen.
We're in the presence of an Iranian here. Like, we could be on their side.
No, well,
Look.
but yeah. So Guz Khan's all like, when you gonna wake up? The Syrians are the enemy, Iraq's the enemy, Palestine's the enemy, Yemen's the enemy. When are you gonna wake up? And it's like, Yemen's not the enemy. The Houthis aren't Yemen. The Houthis are insurgent rebels. Are you listening?
Yeah.
We're listening about the Houthis being insurgent rebels, and I'm waiting for you to finish your point, and I will say my point.
No, you're.
I've been listening to you about why Guz Khan's an idiot, and you're saying Yemen's not the Houthis.
Yeah, because Houthis are not like the Houthis have been taken over by people funded by Iran.
Exactly, yeah. And Yemen used to be a Christian country, and then it was a multicultural, multi-religious.
So we're on the side
country.
of Saudi and sort of 200 billion that they've paid to try and murder all the Houthis.
The Middle East is just full of these internecine conflicts between all these like shit-arse countries, and
Yeah,
like
but you know why? Because back in whenever it was, like in the beginning of the 19th century, Britain went in there and I was going to divide us up, and they just drew maps in the line wherever. And what happened?
You know where else we did that? We did it in Britain. We did it with Wales. We did it with Scotland, and it's been fine. So why can't these?
What the fuck are Wales going to do? They've got sheep. That's
Yeah,
it.
you lot
Yeah,
want
you think Yemen's got anything more than sheep?
It worked in Northern...
It's got sheep.
No, it didn't.
They just got goats.
But the point is, they did the lines arbitrarily. So they put someone.
They were drawing lines in sand.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but Wales, I mean, it's tribal territory. So I mean, you can't really have countries to a certain extent. I mean, a lot of the lines drawn in the sands, like Libya, all these places, they're kind of meaningless.
Yeah. Well, but that's why it's always kicking off. You don't know who's.
It's not why it's always kicking off.
Why
Believe it or not, there was conflict in the Middle East before British
No.
people got there. The only time the world got better
was when Iran had the empire.
was when Britain had the empire, and it went round. It introduced railways to places. It made things
Cricket.
better. Cricket was a bit shit, but I mean, at least it sort of distracted people. Like, the British Empire was the greatest, and nobody ever gives any appreciation for the British Empire. I think the British Empire needs to come back, because look how these people are.
Actually, the British Empire today would be so shit.
No, wouldn't it be?
No,
fucking
no.
amazing?
Listen. I actually think this is what I'm like.
Why are you lisping?
Because I just put my aligners back in.
Why do you put them back
Was
in?
it a line?
So-
Oh, God.
All right, I'll take them out then. Fuck's sake.
God.
Yeah, I mean, we're only doing a
You're
podcast.
actually
We need to be
Give me
able
your lunch money.
Give you a lunch money.
yeah. He cries at the notebook. You wear braces. Lisp.
Shut up, you kyphosis fuck.
Does anybody want to have a game of chess?
I'll bully you back.
Hey, who's coming to the
I can bring you back.
astronomy club?
I'm going to bring you back.
Well, listen, with this,
You
this,
have got no back. You can't bully anything.
this is not
Oh,
how
man.
this podcast goes. That I get bullied.
I got to tell. I was
That's
getting
not how
bullied.
bullying
when I-
goes. You can't go, oh, I'm not getting bullied anymore.
Yeah,
my
that's how it
mum
goes.
said so.
Yeah, my mum said you can't bully me.
When I was about, to me, when I was about like 7 or 8 or something, like, I ran home like in tears, and I was like, Mom, I'm getting bullied at school. And my mum's like English, so she's like, well, why don't you challenge these wretched children to a spelling competition? And,
What?
and she said, you know what else she said? And one of the teachers can be a moderator. It's like, what the
Wow.
fuck? I'm not good. What's our Jane Austen fantasy land did you go to school in, Mum?
Your mum needs to be the education secretary for the UK because their teachers are currently being locked in the classrooms because
Yeah.
they're scared from the kids, right? In the big students this week. Teachers are so scared of the students, they're barricading themselves in the classroom so they don't get beaten up. But with this new novel approach where the teachers say, what about a spelling competition? I'm sure that will turn around
Yeah.
a South London school district. Anyway, I ruined that.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, all these like Guz Khan being all like, the West is just attacking Yemen. It's like, no, the Houthis are attacking Yemen. Like, there's loads of Yemenis in Yemen who don't like the Houthis. It's like Syria as well. Like, we went in to support the Syrian people against Bashar al-Assad, who's using chemical weapons against his own people. And then, like, because it all got fucked up.
You
Like
know-
ISIS sprang up, so then we're fighting ISIS and stuff. Basically, man, we just need to build a big wall around these places.
What about?
Just build a big wall around Britain.
But I think you know. So first of all, I just want to say, Gus Khan, I really like him as a guy. I mean, I've gigged with him a few times. He's a nice guy, I think, nice, and he's a funny comedian as well. He's good.
Well, why is he posting dumb shit about
Because
like
he's obviously he's fucking Muslim, and he feels hurt when he sees his people die.
his people?
Where he sees other Muslims.
When are British people are allowed to advocate for their people?
Well, when do your people die?
When do our people die? I'll tell you, the Manchester Arena bombing.
Yeah, so you're allowed to, of course.
No, we weren't. We were told
By
immediately told, don't look back in anger, don't be racist.
That was
Anything you say is
that was a
racist.
racist.
You've got to just bend over and take it up the ass.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm on your side. I'm saying you should be allowed to grieve and mourn. And he's obviously, this is the whole Middle East conflict, right? What they don't understand is like, obviously, if you're on that side, you're gonna be on. If it's your people, you're gonna be biased towards your people. Like, obviously, so it makes sense. But for both sides, where they're like, oh, I'm supporting my side. Obviously.
So how come when somebody like Tommy Robinson comes out and advocates for working class girls who are getting, raped by grooming gangs, he's cast out of society and
I don't
they
think
come
that's
after
why
him with
he's-
every
I don't
possible
think
Do you wanna
threat.
know the
that's why
truth
he's been
about-
cast out of society? I
Do you-
think because he's got a lot of other shit.
Do you
What
want
other shit?
Well, hold on. You know what my opinion on Tommy Robinson is?
Yeah.
He probably makes some valid, good points, right?
Yeah.
But it's because it's Tommy Robinson saying them, they can instantly just ignore them and say, oh, no, he's racist, he said this, he said that. Whereas if someone else put them more diplomatically across, then they would have more air to breathe.
So how come Muslims, how come other parts of society aren't beholden to the same strictures that Tommy Robinson is? But like you got Mohammed Hijab saying horrific stuff. Just the other day you had, what's his name, Dilly Hussein going to a Jewish school and like, harassing it and stuff.
Do your GCSEs.
Yeah, who's the hook guy? What was him?
Abu Hamza.
Abu Hamza.
What a legend.
Yeah, I don't think if he was talking about grooming gangs as well, we'd be like, nah, you're a wrong un.
My friend, he said his greatest regret is that he used to walk past Regent's Park Mosque and Abu Hamza was preaching there every Friday. And he said, one day I'm going to go in and I'm going to watch Abu Hamza preach. And then he got arrested. He goes, it's one of my greatest regrets I never got to see Abu Hamza preach. He's a white Scottish guy. It's so funny.
Can you still go in and like watch?
I think so. It's a mosque.
Right.
Do you need tickets or?
Mate, but Abu Hamza was a draw. It wasn't Regent's Park Mosque, actually. It was some other mosque.
Finsbury Park.
Yeah, Finsbury Park Mosque. And he said, go by, you'll see. He said, I'm going to go in there.
Yeah.
And he never did, and he regretted it. So the point is...
We used to have big crowds. I lived in Finsbury Park. There's big crowds around
Yeah.
the mosque. It was
See?
very, very
And if you were in New York on September 10th, and I'll go see it tomorrow, you won't. So live for today is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But next time there's an Islamist preacher, go and watch him.
Yeah.
But to your point, what was it? Why is Gus Khan saying stupid shit about Yemen?
Yeah, like in Syria, he's saying like, Syria is the enemy. Nobody ever said Syria is the enemy. That's not why any bombs, any people were targeted in Syria.
So I think
we're helping the people of Syria against a dictator.
But
and then we're trying to fuck up ISIS.
But
as
this
well.
is. I think this is.
But have the people of Syria been helped?
Man, you know what?
It's a good question, Mouch.
Did the help? Like, did the help like it helped in Iraq?
Well, what
And
about,
Libya?
What?
Like, has this help really helped?
What about
Who has it helped?
What about in former Yugoslavia, where we went in to stop the genocide of Muslims?
In Bosnia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
So I mean, it helped there. And how do you know if it's going to help? I think the problem also it was Obama who messed it up in Syria by like allowing red lines to be crossed in the sand.
I mean, I don't know enough about all the politics. I know Syria was fucked because they thought it was going to it just dragged on, and he managed to stay, and now he's back to
Yeah.
where he was powerful.
And Russia entered on his behalf,
Right.
and that and we're seeing Russia it's taken a lot of like Africa, a lot of across the Sahel, that sort of middle bit of Africa. They're going in
Sahel.
Sahel.
What's that?
It's like sort of all the way
hill.
through Chad, Niger, all the way through.
Say that. Don't use a hard G. Don't use a hard G for that one. Do not use a hard G for that one. But I think your point though is the same as basically what you're saying is we need to build a wall. But what he's saying is you need to stay out. So if Britain stayed out, he'd be happy. They wouldn't come here, and you'd be happy because they wouldn't go there.
Yeah, but like we've got like Britain's.
Well, I don't know why Britain getting involved. Britain's so small and insignificant now. We can't get the trains
It's
to run.
small and insignificant.
Listen, I like Britain, right? I like it. I'm proud. I'm genuinely. When there's a reason immigrants want to come to Britain, it's a great country. And regardless of what everyone's saying, try to make you look, say it's shit. It's not. It's good. If you live here, even today, you still get a moderately good life, right? There's a reason people come here. They could stay in France. They don't want to stay in France. They don't want to eat snails and shit. They come over here on boats, risking their lives, right? So Britain is a good country, but objectively, right now, it's going to shit with the way the government runs. Like we couldn't have an empire now. We couldn't hold an empire. We can't even hold this.
Yeah, because we've got socialism now. Socialism sucks up all the
wealth. Tories. Tories are so shit.
I know, and they're socialists.
What?
Well, the Tory.
Oh man, the Tory government, the current we've had nothing but Blairite socialism.
Man, the
Tony
Tories
Blair
are so
got-
shit.
Yeah.
And which means Labour must be even more shit, because if Labour can't beat these Tories for the last however many years, how shit must they be?
And they've had the Tories have had 14 years to sort of have come in and change the civil service so it's on their side. They're still fighting against the civil service. So the civil service is pushing back on all the plans to do anything remotely conservative. And they should have just come in and slash and burn Trump style.
Like the Argentinian dude.
Yeah.
Milei. Javier Milei.
He's weird.
Man, he's great.
He's odd man.
Well, he was just in. So I have been following this from afar. I was like, yeah, I like what I'm seeing. But then I saw him pop up at the World Economic Forum, and he's one of their signed up ministers, and I'm starting to get kind of Marconi vibes or whatever her name is, where she pushed one message. Maloney, whatever, you know what I meant. And then she comes in and then she does something completely different. So what did you see him at?
What, did you see his speech?
No.
Man, so he's at the World Economic Forum and he's just like, listen, all you socialist scum, you're destroying the world. That's basically what he came in and said. It was amazing.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Is he the one? Because I saw Dankula said he was really disappointed about this person who was going to go see some stuff, and then the speech they gave just was, "You're all just terrible and you're all destroying the world." So was that the guy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. I saw that tweet as well.
Yeah.
So what, Dankula's disappointed in Millie?
No, Dankula said, I said I saw he was at the. He basically said, I was disappointed he was there, but then I saw what he
Darius
said.
just was.
Yeah, I copied his point of view, hoping none of you knew his point of view. But then Mouch quoted it, and then you've put two and two together. You've rumbled me that I have no point of view.
This is the Three Speech Retweet podcast.
Well, I was hoping you'd tell me what he said in his thing, but he just said that I still think it's that World Economic Forum's dubious anyway. But Javier Milei looks good. I lived in Argentina. It was great.
Yeah.
They were so poverty stricken. I was rich. It was
Man, and Argentina used to be richer than Germany. It was had a higher.
They had Harrods.
Yeah, had a higher GDP per capita than Germany.
Did you know that?
Probably.
Buenos Aires Argentina is the only country to have its own actual department store brand of Harrods. Harrods made one in the 1930s.
No way.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
It's the building is still there. Harrods subsequently
left.
Yeah.
But it was still called Harrods in Argentina. So you'd be like, what the fuck is Harrods? You ever go to like Norway or somewhere and there's BHS?
Yeah.
Or CNA. There's a CNA in Norway. What the fuck is CNA?
Woolworths in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a different
totally
Woolworth.
different.
Is it?
Yeah, it does. It's just like a supermarket like Sainsbury's.
But there's a CNA in like Sweden. You're like, what the fuck is CNA?
Yeah.
Got this thing from the 80s from. Anyway.
Mad.
Fuck off.
But yeah, in Argentina they had Peronism, this socialism, and obviously every year it ratchets up, it sucks up more of the GDP, they introduce more taxes, more regulations, and also give, they control more of the economy so they can give backhanders to their friends. So you sort of move towards this kleptocratic, almost a feudal state as people hand down favors to their kids rather than open it up to the free market. And obviously it just completely stifles the economy. And they're buying votes, they're bribing people to vote for them.
But that economy's it just goes through cycles of being fucked up. Because just before I lived there, it was pegged 1-to-1 with the dollar. So $1 was 1 peso. You could just use either currency. So a TV's like $200, it'd be 200 pesos, right? The night before I went there, they fucking hate the Argentinians hate the British and the IMF. They hate them, right? Just before I went there, they had an economic crash. $1 was £1 was $1 went to 6 pesos.
Yeah.
So everything was 6 times cheaper. So we had an apartment in we were students. We had an apartment in their equivalent of Park Lane. I had a 4-poster bed. And then downstairs, they were like, we had a maid, right? There was like all these women coming and going from this like thing downstairs. So, so I went down there and I knocked on the door because I thought it was like a maid cleaning service. I was like, hi, can you send one of the girls up to clean our apartment? And they were like, what? I went, yeah, the apartment, can you send, we'll pay whatever it is, just send them up. Went, this is a bulimia clinic.
Abu Hamza's bulimia clinic.
I just thought they were really hot. Because you got to understand, Argentine bulimia is not like English bulimia. You know what I mean?
They're all right.
Yeah.
Because they like their women voluptuous.
Yeah. They got more curves. But anyway, but Argentina has always been up and down with their economy is just fucked.
Did you actually just go in there and go?
I didn't know.
But the whole
You
thing.
just saw like a room full of women and assumed
because there were these women. They looked like, but they looked like one of them looked like there was a cleaner going in there. So I was like, oh, maybe that's like a cleaning thing for the building or something.
Yeah.
So I looked at it like, see, and I was like, just send one of the girls up with
send one of the girls up.
But currency pegs don't work because, you know, the peso was obviously, when it was pegged 1-to-1 with the dollar, obviously wasn't worth. And I bet on the black market, people are exchanging dollars for pesos for like, you'd get 10 pesos for $1 or whatever. So when they unpeg it, you know, then it finds the natural equilibrium.
It was if you actually were Argentinian and you lived there, it was awful because you'd get paid whatever, and suddenly everything went up.
Yeah.
Like all food and everything went like it was nothing to mine. Like 30 pesos is nothing, but that's like £30 to them.
But
for
then
like a hamburger.
But then they would have just been propping that up by borrowing from their reserves or borrowing from the IMF. So it's not like real. It's not sustainable. It's like living off credit cards.
Yeah, but that's what they did. But that's what their whole currencies, and now it's gone hyperinflation.
And the IMF, man, I hate the IMF too. And the IMF recently gave Argentina's socialist government $44 billion in a loan. And it's like, man, why would you lend socialist money? That's like lending a smackhead money and wanting it back. And now Javier Milei has to pay that back. They should just.
Is he going to pay it back?
They've got to. You know what I mean?
Greece didn't. Greece just went, fuck you.
Yeah, what happened with Greece?
Well, Greece is back on. It's doing well now.
What? Went, fuck you.
Yeah,
man. Basically, should Argentina should just turn around and go, be like, you know.
And Iceland did that after with the 2007 crash, and now they fired all their bankers, fired all the president, and then suddenly they were like one of the strongest economies in Europe. Iceland.
Yeah.
What does the IMF do? Where does it get its money from? Do you know what I mean?
It's a bank, World Bank.
Okay.
Is it the World Bank? It's not the World Bank, is it?
But it is a
international monetary
international
fund.
monetary
Where
fund.
did they get their money from?
I guess from all the countries around the world.
And then they lend it to.
And they lend
other
it, and then the
countries around
IMF makes a return when people pay back with interest.
And what if you don't pay them back? What are you going to do?
You see default, then your credit rating goes down, so it becomes more expensive to borrow
from
the IMF.
Barclays.
I got a new credit card. £1 for every Avios point you use for Barclays.
What do you mean?
Well, every time you spend £1, you get an Avios point. So I've got like 200,000.
Yeah, but what are Avios points pegged against?
Oh,
yeah.
So I got. They give you if you have to be They gave you as a real good deal 100,000 Avios points just for signing up. So if you got that's like £1,000.
Do you want the rest of that?
Mouch one. Do you want the rest of that? I'll have the rest of it. Yeah, good credit card.
And that concludes the credit card section.
I had a scam of the week and I can't remember it.
Was it the IMF?
Fire stick. I got
just lending countries like why don't they do what China do? We'll lend you some money, and then when you can't pay it back, okay, we own your motorways now.
Well, yeah, and that's how China's like sort of colonizing a lot of Africa, taking over Africa. But the thing that
they're fucked now.
China doesn't like totally understand is like, you know, the rule of law and everything doesn't always work. Yeah, if you go to Africa, like I mean, there was a story about they went over there and like I can't remember where it was, but they said to the they said to the people, so you build the road out to the airport and all this sort of stuff, or port, and we'll build the port. And after a couple of years, they're like, well, how's the road to the airport getting on? And the guy's like sitting on a big Bentley, being like, what road? What are you talking about? You gave me all this money, I spent it.
It's gone, baby. But talking about securing that, we're going to talk about that. Remember during COVID, to get the vaccine, Argentina had to put up their national monument to secure to get the vaccine in the country. They had to put their national monument and all their big treasures up to secure it and to say that their people wouldn't sue Pfizer, and if they did, they'd take that and they'd be able to sell
Is
that.
Is that true?
Yep, bring it up, Mooch.
You got me ass.
Just do it. Just Google Argentinian national monument vaccine.
Argentinian.
I thought how the world has moved forward, but yeah, that's crazy. Okay, Mooch is doing some good searching. What are you reading, Leo?
Don't know.
It's disgusting, actually. I've decided.
Who's this?
The internet's gone.
I just got
Has it gone?
I just got a message from Danny Hurst. Remember him?
Danny Hurst.
Did comedy.
I remember the name. I can't remember what he looks like.
He had a sort of...
Is he the pen guy? Yeah.
No. That's Danny. I know who that tall guy.
Danny Ward.
Danny Ward. That's Danny Ward.
Well, who's Danny Hurst?
Don't know.
Piss off, Danny. Argentine monument.
I mean, we believe you.
Yeah, but I want to see if I might have made it up. I don't think I have.
What is it? Argentina. It just sounds like one of those things you see on a meme, and it like.
Well, also, did you know that they baked this giant lasagna in Wembley?
No.
During COVID. Bitcoin's crashing a bit.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah.
But it went up really high.
Yeah.
Well, it was right. I was right. I know I'm right. I can't. They've memory hold it on Google.
Memory hold.
They memory hold.
They're doing that sensitive information.
Oh, and
disease
X is coming.
Yeah, is that Twitter? Like, is that their new branding?
Twitter's got a new disease, its own disease. Disease X is coming.
Elon.
That doesn't. Oh, we're just preparing. Doesn't really inspire confidence. Listen, talk about free speech. What about Owen Jones? Did you see that, Mooch?
Yeah.
Have you got the?
Owen Jones is being shadow banned by Facebook.
What do you think about that, Leo?
So I just think it's interesting that all these people, people on the left who are all like, well, if you get banned, you've obviously said something really offensive.
Tell them what he got.
So he got banned. Basically, Owen Jones has been banging on about how Palestinians are great and like Israel's such a baddie for
Murdering them,
defending itself. Against the Hamas attacks, and the Hamas attacks were just decolonization, guys. That's just it's just decolonization. They're just cutting up children because of decolonization, which is a good thing. And so obviously, not everybody, 99% of people in the West completely agree with Owen Jones that, for some reason Israel should just be like butchered and all the rest of it and shouldn't lift a finger to defend itself. However,
I don't think that's yeah. Go on.
Well, man, how's Israel supposed to... Like, Hamas are all in these tunnels under Gaza. Yeah. What are they supposed to do?
Well, they're not the only ones with tunnels.
Just leave them... But what are they supposed to do? Just leave them?
There's some other tunnels.
Yeah, I've seen some tunnels with mattresses with blood stains on them and baby toys. Not if you fact check that, though. That won't come up anymore.
No one's saying they shouldn't defend themselves, but...
Oh, but you should defend yourself without using any weapons.
No. But
what? You should somehow have weapons that can go underground and go into the tunnels and can differentiate between Hamas and whatever civilians they've surrounded themselves with.
Isn't the start of what happened? Do you know what I mean?
Oh baby, here we go. I've been building for this one.
All right, so let's go back to 2,000 years.
Why not 3,000?
Let's go back 3,000. Let's go back 4,000 years.
Give it back to the fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah, let's go back to the fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah. Did they have circumcised?
They had little
dino
fucking
dicks?
hats on, didn't they?
Some of them did. They had the ones that bumped into each other.
Yeah, because they were Jewish dinosaurs. There we go. It was the Sea of Galilee.
But basically, to the point of this, I don't want to get into unless you two want to get into
the magic dragon.
Unless you two want to get into a Middle East conflict. But the point is, Owen Jones, who we all know, Guardian journalist, has been going, free speech has to have a merits and the tech company should be allowed to censor misinformation and stuff that, basically.
Yeah, and also bad opinions. Like, if you say this bloke is a bloke, then, that's bad. It's actually, look at the pronouns, it's woman.
So basically the whole, for like the past however many 5 years, that's his thing. Like, oh, good that their Twitter's been cancelled, they've been silenced. Anyway, apparently his Facebook videos, he noticed the reach that he's been sharing these videos about the Palestine situation, and they've been getting no reach. So now he's come to the conclusion that he's been shadow banned without a warning, and he said, I've been. What about free speech? And now he's invoking free speech.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you people do not understand.
Yeah.
It's not free speech for me. It's free speech for everyone.
But mostly it's free speech for me. Yeah. But the weapons you create to silence me can be used against you.
Yeah. And now he's suddenly seeing it. He's like, what about what I have to say? So this is exactly what we told you would happen.
Yeah.
But you wanted to silence someone because they were talking about fucking Gamergate or some bullshit like that. And now he's coming out going, I've been silenced on this issue. But what do you think he should be silenced on that issue, Leo?
No, I don't think he should be silenced. I think, the thing is, when people are open about what they're saying, you can see what they're saying and you can judge them. It's when people, have to keep that stuff to secret societies and have to say it, whisper it to each other. That's
Telegram groups.
Yeah, and then the resentment builds up, and it's dangerous.
That's when you suddenly get what's this notification? Oh, that's just a drone strike on a Russian guy from a Ukrainian drone.
Yeah.
Now my day's ruined.
Yeah. Not for me.
No.
I love those notifications.
Did you see the two Russian soldiers knock each other off? And then
man, there's a lot of that.
Oh, I haven't seen that. What is it? I would like to see that one.
Knock each other off. It's horrible.
What happened?
Not because of that. That's brilliant.
He's used
then this drone just drops like this little parachute bomb on them,
telling them to not use so much teeth.
Oh, really?
Dropped a truth bomb.
Yeah.
So they're just in this old abandoned building. And
there's a lot of it's used as a sort of like to haze new recruits and stuff.
What is?
What? Oh, was that unconsensual?
Oh no, that's something different. That's just two guys noshing each other off. That's fine. But they use non-consensual bum fucking to sort of haze new recruits in the Russian army. When you get to the front line, it's not the most disciplined army, surprisingly, because a lot of them just come out of prisons. They might be serial killers, and stuff like that. So you think they'd be super disciplined.
What's happening with the Ukraine war now, man? That shit's just dragging on.
Well, so I'm kind of worried that the West is sort of losing interest, but I mean Ukraine's doing an incredible job at just like basically defending. Like the lines have just stagnated. Russia's still putting in big attacks, but Russia's just using the same tactics. They're just sending tanks and troops across open ground, and like big lines, and Ukraine's just blowing them up. So the attritional war,
Russia's just got so many people they can just send and send.
Yeah, but I mean they got to run out at some point. But
it's like that scene from Zulu. Have you seen that?
Yeah, Russia's losing like 3-4 times as many vehicles and men as Ukraine. But it's still, man, it's sad because Ukraine is still losing people. Obviously, Ukraine's got this bridgehead on the Krinky on this side, east side of the Dnipro. So it's sort of pushing. It's sort of pushing. Well, it's
I don't know where
it's like when they stormed D-Day.
You could say anything. I'd be like, okay.
When they stormed the Normandy beaches.
No.
To establish a bridgehead, it's important.
What's
it means
a bridgehead?
So it's when you can. It's like a sort of a safe bit you can then launch attacks from, and bring vehicles and stuff over to then make a big push into the territory. So people are saying also, man, Ukraine's been shooting down. They've shot down what is it, an IL-50 or whatever it is, but one of these big radar planes, $350 million, and Russia's like really only got a few of them. Like we're talking like maybe 3 to 8 of them. So. That are actually, airborne. And also the crew, the really specialist crew. So you take them out. Doesn't matter if you got another plane. You don't have people to operate it. So Ukraine is really whittling away at Russia's defenses around Crimea. I think Crimea is going to become a big sort of, where the next... And if Crimea falls to Ukraine, that'll be a big blow for Putin.
So when does this end, or how does this end?
Man, basically, all the Republicucks in the USA.
Republicucks. That's a new
Or all
one,
the
baby.
like Ramaswamy, like little shit sniffers like
Ramasaki.
that. They need to stop being total pussies. You got
What's he saying? Vivek.
Ukraine.
I like Vivek Ramasaki.
Ukraine is basically the only white Christian country in Europe that's like actually defending its sovereignty and defending its borders. And for these supposed nationalists in America to not be like, we're going to stand side by side with our brothers and do this, for some reason,
How are they Ukrainian
for some reason,
brothers?
all the woke leftists are sticking up for white nationalists in Ukraine, and it blows my mind. But I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Like Ukraine is literally sort of hypnotized the woke world into supporting it, and I'm like, man, why would you? But because the woke world is supporting Ukraine, all these like Trump tards and stuff are like, oh my God, well, we don't like Ukraine then. And they talk about the amount of money. Well, we're giving them $100 billion. Me. That money doesn't go to Ukraine. That money's mostly like when
Goes to the weapons companies that you basically run.
So yeah, like gets spent in America. So America's got all these like just Bradleys and whatever else, tanks and IFVs and whatever, just sort of sitting in storage, costing money to sort of sit there. So they send them over. They're not doing any good in America. So they send them over. They're amazing. They're really, really useful for the Bradleys in particular. We saw footage of one blowing up a T-90 tank the other day. And
it's called a Bradley. That's not a very intimidating name.
Yeah.
no, it's not, and it doesn't have a big one of these big 150 millimeter like.
It's got a small.
It's got like a small. It's got a small cannon, but this cannon just fucking
Motion of the
tears it up.
ocean.
Yeah.
But the
Bradley.
American rules say that the American people have to be reimbursed when stuff like that's donated. So that's what the money goes to. It just goes back into the government's pocket, and it's just
Biden's pocket.
It just, to me, it totally makes sense. Like you got Russia, this sort of Eurasian country trying to attack the West. I think Europe needs to get its act together as well. I don't know. I mean, I know nationalism or whatever has been such a dirty word for so long, but really, if you don't have nationalism, you don't have any defense against this kind of thing.
Unless you got a Bradley.
Yeah, but what use is a Bradley if somebody's like, oh hey, the Russians are just, hey, let them all come here. Don't be racist. Come on, let all these Russians come here.
What other names have they got for their tanks? Abrams.
Chad.
Yeah,
There's a Chad bomb.
Skeeter.
Skeeter.
Get Skeeter. Get the Skeeter out. Get the Zach out. Oh my God.
So you got the Leopards. They're like a
Leopards.
European tank.
But America's getting involved in too many wars.
Yeah,
Overextending itself.
yeah, and you can see like the countries that are behind it sort of pushing all these wars to sort of destabilize America and make it. I think generally, and like if Trump gets in, America's going to withdraw into itself, and then China will invade Taiwan. The Middle East will go up in flames. Eastern Europe.
So you're voting Biden if you could vote.
Man, if I could vote,
Oh, this is controversial.
if I could vote,
And why can't you vote? Are you felon?
He's
I'm in the UK.
I know.
Yeah, man.
But
I
that
would-
hasn't stopped others
but,
without ID voting.
my dream candidate, DeSantis.
he ain't making it.
not.
Have you seen his boots?
I'm going to put money in. I'm going to put money on DeSantis making it. It's like you can get odds of like 50 to 1.
Yeah, he's not going to win.
Man, Trump could get taken down by one of these many things, or he could just die. He's old, and he looks old now.
He doesn't.
He
looks
no, like
quite
man,
good.
if Biden wasn't there looking older, like opening the lid of his coffin to say hello and stuff.
DeSantis wears lifts in his cowboy boots, and they're so big that the toes fold up at the end. So if you ever see someone whose shoes fold up, it's because they're not got no
do
toes
you
in them.
mean?
Or they're.
If the internet's still broken, oh yeah, or they're
I
Aladdin.
think it's worked up again.
See if you can find DeSantis boots, and you can see what I'm talking about. He's got really small feet, apparently. I like DeSantis, but it's not his time. So Biden or Trump, Leo, for 2024.
I think Trump, in that head-to-head battle, Trump would win. And I think Biden's been very selfish, and the people around Biden have been very selfish by
We did it, Joe.
by saying we're going to run again. They should have stood aside and let anybody else.
Who else? Have they
Oprah Winfrey,
They should have let Kennedy. Who else did they got?
The Rock.
Oh yeah, the Rock.
Actually, The Rock's
Would the Rock go Democrat?
The Rock has been approached to run. I don't know which side by, but he's been approached to run. He'd be a shoo-in. But
Not sure how I feel about The Rock.
if Nikki Haley went up against Biden, she'd win by 17 points.
Yeah, but Nikki Haley's fucking a government. She's a deep state shill.
Man, everybody's a deep state shill.
Yeah.
You think anybody gets there? Trump's a deep state
Oh
shill.
no, he's not.
Vivek Ramaswamy,
Vivek Ramasaki's the man.
who's never actually made a profit in his companies,
Good speaker. Good
all funded by venture capital, probably all funded by ESG, by BlackRock, by Vanguard. And you think, oh, he's the independent candidate. No way.
He's a good public speaker, Vivek Ramasaki.
No, he's not.
He is.
How come I think he's a wanker then?
Because you're racist.
Didn't get through at me. Yeah, but in this particular instance, it was for other reasons.
Yeah,
than racism.
I that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I think he's quite. When I've seen him, I think he's been eloquent and he's kept to his principles. Yeah. I think he's done well.
Yeah, he's done something like when that person who was protesting him, or he was like, "Yeah, come, sit down, we'll talk."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't shut them up, and then they have to argue with him on the point.
Nah, he just says stuff that the distant right will like. So like the Ukraine thing, it's absolute bullshit, man. I just think it's absolute. I mean, I can understand people on the left, like Owen Jones and stuff, not supporting Ukraine, but for people on the right,
the left support the Ukraine more than anyone else.
I know it's really weird, and it's become because people are so tribal. It's become this like issue that people on the right won't support it.
Wow. What else are you trying to bring up the boots? Your internet's rubbish. And what else did we say we were going to talk about at the beginning? Oh, the DEI.
The guy got fired
have you got it? So this was on Reddit. Basically, a guy got fired from his job because he was
Not fired. He's suspended without pay for 2 weeks, and if he doesn't, he has to apologize as well or something. Otherwise he'll lose his job. And basically he was at a DEI training or talk, and the person doing the talk felt he rolled his eyes, but he was looking at the clock because he was bored out of his mind.
Yeah.
Which was above this guy's head. And so he was arguing with him. He felt the guy wasn't really going to listen, so he just walked out. He had a chat with his boss about it afterwards, and they both shrugged it off, went, yeah, whatever, cool. But then the DEI company, which needs to give them an accreditation so they can get funding, refused to do so unless it was investigated.
Yeah.
And they're investigating it, and he's suspended without pay while the investigation goes on.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to apologize and pay for some sort of other training out of his own pocket.
Delivered by the same company.
Yeah.
So they make money every step of the way. And it's there's a guy, Carl Borg-Neal, who was working for Lloyd's Bank, and he asked a question in diversity training. He asked, because they're getting taught about how, racist language and stuff, and he was like, well, what if, a person of color comes in and they use the N-word? Like, is it different then, or is it the same? Unfortunately, I forgot to say the N-word.
Oh yeah, she said. He was using
Papa John's all over again.
He was using it as a quote, though. He was quoting the word.
Yeah. Did he sing it, or did he rhyme it with anything like?
He didn't rap it.
No.
And he lost his job.
Yeah, hard R and everything. So yeah, he lost his job. But then he's dyslexic, and apparently that affects your use of.
We use that as an excuse. I was trying to say a Central African country
near Chad, as part of the Sahel region, whatever it was called.
But the good thing is, from the point of view of people who are sick of diversity training and all the rest of it and all this, because the trainer was all like, because first off she said, this is a safe space, there's no bad questions, and then he asked this question, it turns out there were some bad questions.
There were some bad questions.
It's not a safe space.
And it wasn't a safe space.
This was a safe space, it's not safe anymore.
And she said she had to take a week off work with shock of and it's like, for fuck's sake, come on.
Reading that story's made. I'm going to take a week off work now.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And then this guy has been suspended for rolling his eyes. I mean, you can kind of see, if they said the N-word but forgot to actually say it and said it, you can, okay, at least there's...
Yeah.
But the guy looked at the clock and went, no, that's it, now we're going to label you as a racist.
And also they said afterwards...
Not that you're shit at presentation.
Apparently the tribunal said, well, you shouldn't have been looking at the clock. And it's like, what the fuck? What are clocks for if you can't look at them?
Yeah.
Like what sort of 1984 Clockwork Orange thing is like where you're not allowed to? But they have this in the Chartered Institute for whatever it is, the CIPD, the HR Professionals Institute. They have guidance around how facial expressions can be microaggressions and can be racist. So HR people are sort of legislated to go after people for looking the wrong way.
Do your most looking at someone with a racist face, but not trying to look racist, but you're being racist. So to see what the DI trainer would do. No, this is, what do you think? Do yours, Mouch.
I don't know what my racist face.
So you're looking at someone. It's side eye. It's like this. Is like.
Oh yeah, that's quite a good one.
Yeah, it's just a bit of like side eye.
Yeah.
But it's like, listen, maybe your training's just boring as fuck. And what would have happened? What would happen if a?
This is my most racist.
Also, what if they had something to get
I'm
to?
cutting that in, Mouch.
No, that's the whole point of it. Like, this is.
Oh god. What if a black person had rolled their eyes? Would they have got the training thing banned?
I don't know.
No.
I'm working on a new joke. You can't be racist towards white people.
Okay.
It's like, you don't know me. I can be racist towards white people. Are you mad? And then I need to work out how do you be racist towards white people.
Well, first you get a job as an HR coordinator. And then, yeah.
I was gonna say they
can't dance.
They eat rich tea biscuits.
They
Pay for their
season
TV
food
license
with salt and pepper, and that's it.
Yeah. Sort out their bins.
I mean, like there's loads of stuff. There's so many books.
Do you
like,
think
about
you can be racist towards white people?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I do. Mouch?
Yeah.
Yeah. People, do you know people argue you can't
You should
be
meet my dad.
It's 9 times out of 10, it's a white person saying you can't be racist towards white people, which is pretty fucking racist.
I don't know about
because then white people, it's like we're so good at racist, you can't be racist towards us. Like, yes, we can. You white fuck.
It's like a new elitism.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're trying to like say, oh, no, you can't be racist against white people because blah blah blah. They're trying to be non-racist, but they're actually being racist when they say that.
Yeah. When I went to school, it was like basically quite an ethnic school. There's one white kid. We picked on him exclusively due to his race, culture, and heritage. Told him that. So listen, we're bullying you only because of who you are and the color of your skin. That's the only reason. Other than that, you're a cool guy.
Yeah.
And then they got pulled in. The teacher's like, "You've been bullying him." No, he's white. And they went, "Good point. Go on." I need to work on that. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah.
Maybe. We run out of steam. It's
No.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at. I wasn't rolling my eyes. I was checking the clock.
Fucking, I'm gonna call DIE Inspector Gadget to do a.
I
bring you
can't
into
wait for them
HR.
to try and teach diversity and exclusivity. Is diversity?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Equity.
So it's like basically the thing with it is like equity. It's not equality. We used to have like the push for equality. Martin Luther King, I have a dream where we'll all be judged on the content of our characters instead of the color of our skin. Now it's equity. So instead of just giving people equal opportunities, you've got to force the system so that there's a certain number of black people at NASA and a certain number of...
Oh, at Boeing.
Yeah, or at
Well, when
Boeing.
the planes are falling out the sky.
Yeah. So instead of just letting everybody, so it means they sort of drop the admissions required points and stuff for like Harvard for certain ethnicities like Hispanic and black. But then the flip side of that is it's not just white people that are getting graded down.
Asians. Yeah.
Asians
Asians
actually,
are so good they're basically white now.
yeah, man, they do better than white people.
They're better than white
They're
people.
better than white people.
They're the superior white person. Which is why China's going to take over.
So
They're like, we've had enough of this shit. We're taking over.
yeah, so a group of Asian students sued. They went to the Supreme Court. I think they were suing Harvard to get sorry.
That's got to be like, imagine you're Asian. That actually has to be the worst thing. It's like,
Yeah.
you are definitely a minority, right?
Yeah.
No, you're basically white. So we're not going to give you the same like, what is it? What do you call it when they progress? When they
Opportunities.
not the actual thing they say they call it when they get to when they say,
Affirmative action. No.
yeah, we're not going to let you be part of the affirmative action. We're going to classify you as white. It's like, motherfucker, I genuinely got bullied at school. I had to fucking work in a laundry fucking every day.
I've got ducks in my window. I've tried to park. It's a mess. 3 people are dead.
I've got a calculator. I am a calculator. I don't know, but yeah, how are they not getting part of the affirmative action?
I know.
Also, some white people are really dumb.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and also affirmative action. So for universities, it doesn't really affect people who are like deprived and need it. So 70% of university admissions still come from the top 20% of the economic strata. So you're really just giving a leg up to the children of rich,
dumb rich,
rich black kids who their parents could afford tutors and all the rest of it.
What about affirmative action in like schools that like, okay, this is like a school in the ghetto and this is that they actually do need it? I think that would be a good idea.
The affirmative action they get is Michelle Pfeiffer turns up and dances with them, and
Culio's dead now.
Rap with me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
What? Coolio died.
Vaccine.
When?
Was it vaccine?
I don't know.
I thought it was the crack scene. Wasn't he a crackhead?
Fentanyl. When did Culio die?
A while
Last
ago.
year, I think. 2 years ago.
What song did he sing? Is that
Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah.
Let's see what he died of. Coolio.
Oh yeah.
Overheating.
He's quite old.
Cause of death.
Cancer in the US.
Oh yeah, fuck it was. Accidental overdose of fentanyl, heroin and methamphetamine.
Fentanyl is a big problem in America.
Yeah.
They cut it in. Actually, and apparently that's coming from China.
And also it's like you can have accidental
the
deaths.
opium wars again.
Yeah, China's destabilizing the West with fentanyl and with TikTok, which is digital fentanyl. It's just designed to corrupt the youth, poison their minds.
Well, TikTok's different in China than it is in.
It teaches like algebra and stuff.
Yeah, whereas
teaches how to hang a duck in the window.
I really like that duck. It's very nice.
I don't like Chinese food.
What?
I
Why
said
not?
it. It's not
Maybe
very
you haven't
nice.
had nice Chinese food.
No, I've had it. It's just not very nice. Actually, the one I do like is that one. Remember, Mike Lee used to do a gig in.
Oh yeah,
That was nice.
That was a fancy.
Yeah,
Chinese
what was
place,
that place called?
I can't
Duck and
remember.
Bowl or something. It was
Yeah,
really
Sorry, it's a fancy one called Wok and Bowl.
Duck and Bowl or something.
Yeah, no,
it was really. That is
fancy.
the only nice Chinese food I've had.
Is it- West End?
Terrible gig, but like you got a meal and it was
Is it in
amazing.
West End or
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Covent. No, not
And there's a
Covent.
by
place.
Chinatown?
There's a place in Liverpool Street, or there used to be anyway, called My Old Place, and it's really good, and it's different from like what you'd normally get in a Chinese. Because I think people think it's like bits of chicken and batter and jam, and it's
Jam.
Yeah, I've never had nice. That's the only place I had nice Chinese food, but then it had like this like one seed or something in it, and you ate it, and it was like
Incredibly hot.
No, it wasn't hot. It was like a weird chemical.
They always
taste.
have. It's like somebody's
MSG.
emptied. It's like somebody's emptied a bowl of potpourri into the food.
Yeah, it
you
was
get
one of them.
random bits of fucking like just bits of wood that taste like aniseed or whatever.
Yeah, it was like that, and it went, and it just stung your nose for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was
Ginger.
the only
Was
good.
it ginger?
No, I know what ginger tastes like. I also know what it looks like. Your beard.
It doesn't actually look ginger though, does it?
What your beard?
No, ginger.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, you're right. I'll retract that rubbish insult. What's your takeaway of choice?
I like Indian.
What do you get in Indian?
I like pizza. I get like a lamb jalfrezi, something like that. I like Middle Eastern food is really delicious.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
How the
it's really-
tables have turned.
It's great.
Go home and eat a
Lebanese.
full English.
Hit the
eggs and
hootie hut.
chicken. Mooch, what's your take? What's your pizza choice, Leo?
I don't know.
What train? What chain?
Oh,
Domino's or Pizza Hut?
that. No. What's that one? I had a really good one. I can't remember what it was. Does that help?
I exclusively get Papa John's for
Really?
political reasons.
I actually had Papa John's recently.
Papa John's sauce is the best. That garlicky butter thing. The rest is average as fuck.
I
might be getting into the pizza business.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Tell us more.
I might buy a pizza truck.
Nice.
Come on.
Would you drive it?
No, we're gonna park it somewhere and just sell pizza.
Would you make the pizza?
No, I've got an Italian guy who's gonna do that. He's only got one thumb.
Right.
So I
He
think
lost it in a pizza-related
hope
accident.
Yeah,
so.
somebody got an extra bonus.
I want to
extra
call it
topping.
thumbs up pizza or something, but I don't know when that was. So, like,
Well, Tony Morese he was looking for a business to sort of do, like to invest in and stuff, and he said pizza's got like one of the best margins.
yeah, it's
Really?
these. Well, yes and no. Depends how. Yeah, it's. I mean, you make your dough,
Yeah.
and that can cost. It depends on the size of the pizza, but like 25, 30p. The cheese is expensive. You
Yeah.
spend about £1 on cheese and meats and stuff like that.
Right,
So it can
yeah.
cost three quid for a pizza. You sell it for
Minimum.
10.
No,
Yeah.
more than that now.
Yeah, stuff's expensive now.
I mean, like for a margarita, £9.50, and then 12.
Don't make the mistake. I used to go to, remember that Tuk Tuk restaurant? I think it was called Tuk Tuk
that you
in
shut
Chinatown.
down.
And man, they sold beers for like £2.30 or something, and like a big bowl of lax, a massive bowl was like £5 and stuff. And they're like, because I went there every day, and they're like, oh, we're losing money. We can't. I was like, man, you haven't put your prices up since 1991. Like, just put your prices up. And they're like, and then they didn't, and then they just went bust.
Once again, Leo ruining a restaurant chain by
Yeah.
eating them out of house and home. He also did this in Australia. We got to get 2 for like half price food, and it was really nice food. So then Leo would just start bringing dates there. And then in the end, they took it away from us.
This is on me, baby.
Yeah, this is on me.
I'm eating for free.
I got to go and do the nursery.
What's it? You've got to go. All right, listen. Let's call it a day. I think it's been a nice pod.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It's a good
Oh,
pod.
where's my money?
All right, I'm gonna give you your money.
Give me my money.
I've just got a message. We're going to give you your money. Listen, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Before you go, normally at this point, we say use code 3SP on highpoint.care for 10% off your needs.
But use the code. Give me my motherfucking money, you crooks.
We're now starting to think it might be a scam. We know the guy, Paul. He's a very nice guy. I spoke to him, and he said they got hit by COVID over like Christmas, and they've been getting back. But then I messaged him asking for our money, and he's gone silent.
He's got disease X now.
Yeah, so he's got disease X. So it might be a scam. So go on highpoint.care, use code 3SP.
Do we not get the money up front?
Man, they pay us on people buying the code and then how much we got. We got one payment, I think. Actually,
Give me my money.
Let's wait until we turn the cameras off.
No, let's do it
I've
now.
got to
All right, hold on. So now, I'm paying money out from the last vestiges of our... Oh, we got a Patreon.
Yeah, plug that instead of the
Go on our Patreon instead and give us some money so I can pay
Are we
you.
doing a Patreon episode?
cash money.
Well, can we not split this into 2? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Brilliant.
5.
Nice.
That's
I got cash money.
That's tax deductible.
Madonna's
we-
being sued by
We pay tax
fans
on that.
because she turned up late.
I got to
Leo's going. If you go on GB News on Saturday at 8 p.m. That's Leo's own show. I'm on it next week. Yeah, Leo's on it.
Well done.
Tomorrow.
I'm but
Darius is on in like what?
next week. Next week, go on whatever the next weekend is. All right, that's the end of this pod.